Hello and welcome Red Devils United. We are back with another edition of Red Devils Week. And today we're going to talk about the match between United and Southampton at the St. Mary's Stadium. Before we move into our match discussion, please subscribe to our channel, share our videos with every Manchester United fan out there, press a like, and do press the bell icon to be notified of every video that we put up with. Now let's head into our discussion. The start of today's game has to be Daniel James. That guy was put out on the left wing. He started the first three games. Not the first three games, he started the last two games out in the right wing, which is not his natural position as a player. But this game, he started out on the left, and the impact was there for everyone to be seen. He was a championship player at best. Nobody expects him to do a lot this season, but that guy's been turning up. He's been putting in the performances that we expect from our wingers, and he brought excitement back on the pitch for Manchester United. Everything was coming from his side of the pitch, and he managed to score a stunning goal as well. And that's what he's been doing. 3 stunners, 4 games, and that's what we need from our players. Daniel James stepping up as a Manchester United player, but everybody else, they let us down. One thing that we've seen so far in the season, the first 4 games of the season before we head into the international break, is that Manchester United has been wasteful in front of the goal. We've wasted a lot of opportunities, especially in today's game where Rashford, he did not turn up at all. He had 0 positional sense. There were assists that were laid out on a platter for him to finish into the net, and he fluffed his chances. There was this one offside that saved his blushes, where he came in for a header and just hit it out wide. He hit the ball with his head with his eyes closed. That just sums up, Rashford's day today. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trusts Rashford to be his number 9, but Rashi is not showing, any intent of doing that. He's not backing Ole's comments up by his performances out on the pitch, and that is something that has hurt United over the last 3 games, and we really missed Anthony Martial. Romelu Lukaku would have converted those chances that Rashford got today to score goals. We could have easily won the game, but we came out with a 1-1 draw at the St. Mary's Stadium today. And these games against relegation threatened teams like Southampton or Crystal Palace, we're not taking these games by the scruff of the neck. These are the games that we should be winning. Our team's capable enough of defeating the bottom half teams. We know that our midfield is thin and is not capable enough of putting up a challenge to all the top 6 sides, but these are the sides that we should win our matches against, so that when we head into the winter transfer window, we'll be in with a chance. And if we manage to get in a good midfield siding, we can set up the business end of the season really well for us. Today's performance against Southampton again raises questions about about the abilities of our players. Nobody's turning up in these matches that we have to win. Our midfield is non-existent. Given the fact that Southampton were 10 men down after, they were just they were 1 man down. There were 10 players on the pitch by 70th minute, and we had 20 minutes to make a move on their goal. With Southampton, essentially, they had players behind the ball. They had parked the bus for the last 20 minutes, and that was our chance to essentially change the direction of the game, change the momentum, and go in for the kill. But what do? We bring in Jesse Lingard and Nemanja Matic out on the pitch. Jesse Lingard was not playing well over the last 3 games, and that justifies his exclusion from the team squad today. But if you know as a coach that Jesse Lingard or any other player has not been doing well, that player should not be the first option off the bench. We had Mason Greenwood, Tahith Chong out of the bench, and those guys have been screaming for game time. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out in pre-season already said that these players are ready to make an impact in the first team squad. Yet Mason Greenwood comes out for his token appearance in the last 10 minutes of the game, and that's not enough time to come out and make a difference. I mean, if you say that Mason Greenwood is one of the three players leading our attack this season, then he should be given game time. He should be out there, for at least 30 minutes so that he can come in and make an impact. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still persisted with his players. One Mata was still out on the pitch at the 70th minute. He should not be there. That guy, he's lost his stamina. He was good on the pitch, no doubt. He did better than his previous performances, but he cannot play 70 minutes now. He can at best come out for 50 minutes or last 30 minutes to unlock defenses. But today he should have been taken out earlier so that Mason Greenwood or Tai Chong, they could have come on and made an impact. But with Southampton at 10 men, we had Nemanja Matic and Scott McTominay as the two central defensive midfielders in front of a flat back four. And that was our moment to change the game, to change the pace. We did move Pogba ahead. Pogba started out deep in the first half, but when we pushed him ahead, he started creating chances. And Rashford was the lone striker up top. We could have changed that. We could have had Mason Greenwood with Rashford instead of two central defensive midfielders out at the back protecting our back four. I mean, these are the small details, that can change the game. And this is where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his staff's tactical failures lie. We know our players are not good, but our tactics out of the pitch were also not good. And Southampton, came out winners with a 1-1 draw. I mean, this game was a win for them and a loss for us. So we've played 4 games, we just have 5 points, and this season does not look like it will be good for us going ahead, because the games are only going to get difficult for us, as we play the likes of Manchester City or Arsenal or Liverpool or Tottenham. It will get difficult for us, and that's where these players need to turn up. Rashford needs to be the striker that he's purported to be. He's still not the finished article that he thinks he is. Now if you were supposed to, if you give a look at the player ratings today, David De Gea at the back, he did not have a lot to do. The goal was unlucky because Victor Lindelof, he missed the header, and the Southampton player behind him, 6'7", he just went in for it. He was taller than almost every other player on the pitch, and he took that chance and scored a goal for Southampton that they needed so badly to get something out of the game. For David De Gea, I'd give a 6. And then Aaron Wan-Bissaka, that guy is a beast. He shuts down the right wing for us. There's nothing that comes out from the right wing in each of the last 4 games. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been one of our best defenders, either going ahead or coming back. He knows when to put in the tackle, when to clear the ball, when to take it ahead, and when to just clear it out. For me, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was a solid 7. Victor Lindelof, he's been shaky. He's committed his second mistake in 2 games as a centre-back partner for Maguire. I'd give him a 5. He could have done better with that cross coming into the box and trying to clear the ball out, but he missed it. Harry Maguire, we know he's a solid defender. He did nothing wrong on the pitch, but he had nothing else to do. He was there at the back. He could have been pushed out front for the last 20 minutes. We could have tried and get a goal through set pieces or something, but we never really used Harry Maguire's attacking strengths as well. I give him a 6. Ashley Young on the wing, as a replacement for Luke Shaw, did not have a bad game. He was better than his usual performances that he put in last season. I give him a 6 again. Now, moving into the midfield, we had a midfield trio of Scott McTominay, Paul Pogba, and Andres Pereira. Pereira was a disappointment today. He gets a 3. Paul Pogba was a deep-lying midfielder in the first half, but that's where we miss his abilities the most. Paul Pogba in the second half moved up front. He started playing in those attacking areas, started finding players, started putting in those assists, those through balls that he has the ability to put in. But we could never really use it. Marcus Rashford could have scored 2 more goals off just Pogba assists. So there was nothing wrong that Pogba did. I'd give him a 6 too. Scott McTominay, that guy tries. He's an effort player. He does not have the skill or the excitement, but he does bring an enthusiasm onto the pitch. He plays for the badge. He gets a 6 for that. And the attacking trio of Daniel James, Juan Mata, and Marcus Rashford today, Daniel James was the star player for us on the pitch. I mean, he scored a stunner. That was a beautiful goal. And that's his best position out on the left, and that's where he should play regularly for us. And on the right, we could easily play with Tahit Chong or Angel Gomez. But we don't. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not trust those youngsters to perform at this level yet, even though he says they're ready. Daniel James gets a 9. He had some good crosses into the box. Again, Marcus Rashford fluffed his lines and did not convert those chances. And Juan Mata, he had a decent game today. He gets a 6. Marcus Rashford gets it. He had plenty of chances to score. Plenty. And he missed a plenty. This is what is costing us games. This is why we lost the game against Crystal Palace. This is why we drew our game here against Southampton that we could have easily won. This is something that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the backroom staff really need to work on to get our attack sorted, to get our players sorted, so that we can win these winnable games. But that's the story for Manchester United so far. And now we head on to the international break. It could not have come at a better time for us. The players get a break. They can take a step back, learn from the mistakes that they've done, and head on to the rest of the season really well. So Red Devils, until next time, please subscribe to the channel, look out for our videos, and spread the word about Red Devils United to other Manchester United fans too. Well, see you soon. Ta-da!